and powerful. Who are you? Who are you?
If you please, I am Dorothy. Small and meek. We've come to ask you.
Silence!
Oh, Jimmy Cricket.
The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come. Step forward.
And so do I, because it's another episode of Spicy Saturdays. We're looking at The Wizard of Oz. Let's get started. So first, we're looking at Dorothy's look. It is very much a iconic fashion item now, but if you think about Dorothy's character, her outfit is very practical. When you think about like her growing up on the farm, so like living in Kansas, so like the plaids would have probably been very popular. The shirt under the dress would have been like a look that had some functionality to it, also some modesty. And again, just saying that this came out in the 1930s and we still are in love with this outfit today. Linda, are you a good witch or a bad witch? They portray her as a good witch in this film, and I guess she probably is. Anyway, her outfit, only way I can describe it is bubblegum. So much pink, so much tulle. The silhouette is just like so huge. She comes in the pink bubble, and she literally like is a pink bubble. And then the crown, she's just so much larger than life. Yeah. The Wicked Witch of the West. The villain, possibly misunderstood, but again, not the point of this video. Her outfit is very traditional villain. She's got all black, got the hat, got the cape, got the broom. She's ready to like just zoom through the sky and yeah, just terrorize little girls and the dogs. Without seeing the costume up close, I can't really see like if there's any like elaborate details to it. So the Scarecrow is one that I think is probably so like interesting in the functionality of it, like that he is move. I think the actor does a fantastic job of like acting out his movements as if like he is kind of limp. The straw that's actually like stuffed so like it can fall out in certain scenes. The patchwork, just it seems so simplistic because it's like doesn't have a whole lot of detail into it, but if you think about again the functionality, it's pretty cool. The Tin Man's look was actually in the original film made out of sturdy canvas, so not real metal, but because of the stiffness, it's still an interesting thing that probably helped the actor to move with that stiffness that, you know, if you're rusted, you would have. But it's also really cool because unless he like knew that, like you would assume that it's like a metal or, you know. So it's kind of an interesting thing that it was canvas painted silver and then maybe with some like special effects. But even with it not being real metal, with it being like a stiff canvas, that cannot be like very comfortable to wear, especially for long periods of time. So props to the actor. That's all I'm going to say. The Cowardly Lion. This outfit just looks really like hot to me and not like oh my goodness, he's so like it looks like this guy could have been like burning up on set. It's really cool how they like did all the fur elements and then had his hair also kind of go down into the mane. But yeah, that has to be like really warm, especially if you're doing like all the dancing and stuff. The monkeys Oh, I love the flying monkeys. I know they're like work for like the villain, but I really like them. They have like these cute little like they look like little bellhops if you think about it. Like they have the little hat and then like the little like shirt and oh, they're so cute. Um, but also just everything that went into like without having CGI or anything like that to like make these, costumes that look like monkey without really any special effects added. So, if you're wondering why I have all these characters on one slide, they're all played by the same actor. So, Professor Marble, the wizard, and then three of the different people in the Emerald City are all played by the same actor. Um, Again, the Professor Marble and the Wizard kind of makes sense because like they're counterparts, like in Kansas and then not in and then in Oz. But the other characters, um, either like I guess all of the Wizard's people look like him. They could be, or it is just the Wizard going around in different disguises to learn about the people that are coming to request something from him. He can say, oh yeah, like he can be all knowing by just being among his people. The Munchkins I want to take a special look at because there was a couple of things that one, the colors of their costumes, but also some of them have like very big like hats and different features. I also wanted to make a record of, I thought that these were just like kids that they made look grown up, but these were actual adults that were just smaller, are just smaller, and so that's kind of interesting. But they also were from Europe, and there was only one or two that really could speak good English. So like with the line delivery and some of the stiffness of it could be like the lack of like knowledge, especially filming in the US and not like, knowing the language and that kind of thing. Okay, so The Wizard of Oz is probably one of my all-time like favorite movies, and then also Wicked, Broadway, but also I can appreciate the Wicked movies. But what I think is so interesting about The Wizard of Oz is that it was made back in the 1930s in World War II days. And at that point, not only were just movies a big thing in general, but this was the first movie to go from black and white to color. And that is definitely reflected in this movie. As you can see, like, except for like the Wicked Witch and the monkeys, and I guess even kind of for like Dorothy, the Munchkins, Glinda, there's a lot of not just color, but bright, like vibrant, like color that in order for it to show up on the big screen and just pop. And that's also why they decided to do the ruby slippers instead of the silver ones, like in the original book, was because, again, this was the first time that anyone, to at least this degree, had ever done a color movie, and so they wanted to, again, be as vibrant and as bold as possible. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Spicy Saturdays from Oz. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, if I click my heels 3 times and say there's no place like home, I'll end up back home, because I'm not even from Kansas, so I'm not really sure how that works. But until next time, I'm going to go dive down another rabbit hole and hopefully get back home. I'll see you later.